Not bad at all. Okay. It's only like 5 hours of flight, 1 water, no food. Room's not ready. But now all's good. What else is going on the agenda this evening in Vegas? I really want to read the Toast earnings report and listen to their earnings call. I'm going to do the same probably for Squarespace and the same now for DoorDash. I think it's really important for anyone that's really researching and wanting to grow in a space to constantly be reading the related earnings reports from publicly traded companies. It gives you a lot of insights, not just into, you know, their financial statements, but really color into their strategy, into their partnerships, what some of their roadmaps are, what some of their issues are. I really like listening to the analyst questions because it adds a wrinkle into the planned and written statement that most of the C-suite management team is reading from. So I'm gonna be reading up on some of that. Head to dinner somewhere, not sure. And then probably back to bed. Yeah, boring. Vegas, night one. What can I say? Anyways. Surprise, I'm back. Had dinner by myself, which I felt kind of like that scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where it's like kind of awkward, but that's okay. I use that time to be a nerd and read up on so many things. Squarespace earnings call, Toast financials, Web3. But anyways, back. It's kind of early for Vegas, it's 10 o'clock, but back on the East Coast time, it's like 1 a.m. I'm exhausted, going to bed, and see you in the morning. I've been up since 4:45 in the morning. That could be good or bad, depending on who you ask. I kind of like it. It's that East Coast to West Coast time change for me. I like being up early. The not so fun fact is that when I was running Speedy Tab, I had to start waking up before 6 a.m. every day because that was the only way that I could be alert and awake in case something went wrong. Because a lot of our customers were coffee shops and those guys opened at 6, and what if ordering wasn't working right? What if the platform was down? What if they had an issue? And in the early days, you are support, you're doing everything. So I had to be up and I had to be awake just in case something happened. Not because anyone else was asking me, but really because I had anxiety like crazy that I had to be up for it. And I hated waking up to a ton of emails and a ton of Slack messages and feeling so behind already. This is why I could never live in SF or anywhere on the West Coast, because you wake up, even if you wake up at 6 a.m., it's too late. People have been working for hours already. So I like being up early. Already had first team meeting, and the gym here in the hotel doesn't open until 8. It's open 8 to 5. So probably gonna go for a run down the Vegas Strip. Do people do that? I don't know. We're about to find out. So nice out. We go for miles. Miles, baby. All right, little morning run before the gym opens. From about Aria down to Treasure Island. It's like 2.5 miles. Now into the gym and then to the conference. All right, just registered Got my badge. I'm not used to like having Wix on there. It's a change.
I'm wondering if you can share with the audience what those early days were like for you personally and for your team.
Signed up the deal, and I was like, "Who's Mr. Beast?" He said, "Don't worry, it's going to be crazy."
All right, it is 7 o'clock. Wow, this light is bright. It's like 7 o'clock, full day one of Food on Demand conference done officially. Going next to have some dinner with my friend Max and the rest of his company, which is nice because no more solo dolo dinners. Day one of the conference was really good. A lot of panels really around the future of virtual concepts, ghost kitchens, dark kitchens. There's so many different makes and models of companies that are playing in the kind of ghost kitchen space and virtual concept space. Really interesting to hear what they all have to say. I'll try and get into all that a bit kind of at the end of all these videos. But right now I'm late to go meet Max and crew in the Bellagio and head to dinner. So until later, Vegas. Ooh, what's up? So day two of the conference is today. This morning I only woke up at like 5 a.m. So getting better, adjusting. Also, before I even get into the conference today, I woke up and it's Wix earnings report day, which now working at a publicly traded company, you know, it's got a lot of kind of pressure tied to it. I think internally you try not to focus on stock price too much, but obviously as a shareholder, it's something that I pay attention to and listen to these calls. Like I've already noted, I listen to everybody else's calls, certainly listen to my own company's calls. And I think there's, you know, short-term fluctuations in stock price aren't always a relative sign to the success of the company or the stock over the long run. So I think, you know, I'm very focused on what the long-term goals, long-term success of Wix look like. The company beat on pretty much every metric, collections, better revenue, up to guidance for the rest of the year. So all good start to the day. And next up, yeah, I don't have time to work out because I've been in calls all morning and now I'm late for the conference. So let's go.
All right, we're going to wrap up the third-party deep dive with.
We have been for a really long time, but it's a really big priority for us. So.
All right, back in Miami. I didn't do a conference wrap up in Vegas. So back home, figured I'd do a quick one right now with like top 3 things I learned at Food on Demand conference. Ready? Go. Number 1, some things you just can't accomplish over Zoom or email or Google Hangouts or Microsoft Teams or whatever it is. You gotta do it in person. And building relationships, especially on the BD side, getting people to understand what Wix is really trying to do in the restaurant space, trying to build stronger relationships with our partners. It's really so much easier to do in person And I'm glad I was able to see a lot of our partners out there, a lot of our new partners out there, a lot of our soon-to-be partners out there, and really talk to people about why Wix acquired SpeedyTab and just what that means for the restaurant industry. Number 2, it was super eye-opening to see the number of companies that are tackling the future of restaurants in terms of virtual concepts and ghost kitchens. So there's a lot of different players all tackling this concept in slightly different ways, right? Some players are tackling this by finding existing kitchens that can take on additional capacity and increase their revenue and put in these virtual concepts into existing kitchens to help them make more money. Other players are popping up their own ghost kitchens or their own cloud kitchens where they have multiple virtual concepts or existing concepts all within this pop-up space. Other players are partnering with celebrities or influencers, TikTokers, while others are taking enterprise brands and bringing them across the nation. So super interesting. Uber themselves said, I think as of last year, they had over 15,000 concepts or locations on Uber Eats that were virtual only. So this really shows we're at the beginning of this tipping point of virtual kitchens and on-demand, off-premise experiences, really dominating the future of how people order. Number 3 is really how I see the future of the restaurant space being. And in my personal opinion, I think the future of the restaurant industry is very polarized, where on one end, you're going to have off-premise being the dominating force. This means order ahead and pickup through cashierless experiences like the one that Starbucks and Amazon announced last week. Really dominated by delivery as a service as well as delivery marketplaces. And on the other end, you have very fine dining experiences where I think people want to go and they want to be waited on. I don't want to scan a QR code for my menu. I don't want to order and pay from my phone. I want white glove full service. I want to go out and have that experience. I don't want to mess with my phone or my device. And I want to feel like I have a very high quality, high touch experience. And in between, I think, is really where the squeeze is going to take place. And also, it's the end of 2021, but a lot of the talking points from a lot of the panels really haven't changed since I got into this space, almost a decade ago. And these are still the talking points of it's early in the game. It's important for restaurants to own their own customers, to have their own direct ordering channels, to take a lot of the concepts that airlines and the lodging industries have had in terms of the importance of having customers go direct to them, having a loyalty program that talks to that, having analytics built around that. And I'm not sure why still almost a decade later we're having some of those conversations. Is the adoption curve not there? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But anyways, that's it. I'm gonna stop getting so boring and technical into this and back to the good stuff. It's Art Basel this upcoming week. So get ready because that is gonna be mayhem in Miami. There's a lot of exciting tech stuff, art stuff, obviously with things like NFTs, it's more of an intersection than ever before. So I'm excited to share a lot of what Art Basel in Miami is gonna look like with you guys. So stay tuned for the next vlogs for that. Until then, I'm out of here.